Alright, so another build I want to get started on. Gonna do it piece by piece, of course. I already showed you the frame. I picked up a body, so you might enjoy this one. Rat rod, hot rod. Really get tired of hearing rat rod because people kind of take that out of context. So it's gonna be an affordable budget little hot rod. So let me show you what I got. Right here. This is either 26 or 27. Only 2 years they did this one. Little Model T Coupe. So, missing doors, but it's got all the frame in it still, which is nice. And you got a little bit of the rust. Nothing really bad, nothing that can't be fixed. Dash is still in it. Still got all the top rails. Unchopped, uncut. All the way back. We got our rust back here. All completely fixable. That's easy stuff, y'all. Solid frame to work with. Nice cowl on it. I will have to build doors, like I said, but solid front axle that's already dropped. It's off of a 54 GMC. Got that from a good friend of mine, so that'd be good looking on the front with some cross springs. May possibly use these wheels, we'll see. And then right over here, rear end to go with it. So we are pretty set on parts, and I've got a motor I'll show you. Quick look at what I got here. Boom. That is an 8BA Ford flathead with air-cooled automatic transmission. So nothing says hot rod to me like an old Ford flathead. So that'll go good with the Model T chassis and body. And don't worry about that one right now. We'll have that some other time. And maybe some of that stuff there. Okay, here it is. Rat rod time. So, I'll show you real quick the frame we're going to modify. If you know anything about Model Ts, the chassis weren't much. They had little 30, 40 horsepower flathead 4-cylinders in them. They weren't made to go fast back then, so there's not much to the frame. That being said, they're a perfect little canvas to make whatever you want. So got an old Model T, don't even know what year yet, can't find an ID, so from what I've read that means it's 25 or older, so 1925 or older, but whatever. We're going to modify this one. Let me show it to you. Okay, so here it is. When I got it, it was given to me, and the only thing it had was the engine oil pan, which bolted up front here, and then it came right back here to, I believe, these cross members or those, I can't remember. But anyway, that, and then the whole rear axle. I've got the rear axle, which is that janky little banjo style that we're not going to use because as soon as you stomp on it, it would snap. But I am going to use the cross springs. So what we're going to do is come in up here, take all this crap out, and then we're going to run a piece of 2x2 by quarter square across there, and then we're going to take that back there. We're going to take the cross spring brace off, and then we're going to stretch it. I'm not sure how much yet, but we're going to stretch it and raise it up probably 6 to 8 inches. That way we can run those cross springs in the back, and then I'll have room for that flathead up here, and then the solid axle will run up here a little more coming out instead of back here. And that'll give us room, maybe even do some suicide front end, but we'll see. We're going to start on this. We got to tear all this stinking mess off of it. get the 100 years worth of crap off this thing and get ready to start modifying it. Okay, so on the width of the frame, I believe they ran, I'm going to be guessing here, 23 and a half. Let's see. Yeah, 23 and a half. So we're going to keep that same width because the front of the coupe body, the Model T coupe body I have, that's what it is, and I don't want to stretch that any wider and have to modify the body. I kind of want that just to go in because I'm going to have to modify the rear for these springs where they're going to sit. So going to get all this cleaned up and off here and get these two pieces separate, and then we're going to cut a piece of steel and weld it in. Okay, so now it's time to go ahead and do some work on the frame for the rat rod. So I'm going to show you the Model T chassis. I drew a little design roughly of how I want to do it. It's going to show you the measurements and everything, and then I'm going to start measuring and cutting. Maybe we get some welding done tonight. Let's check it out. Here's the old Model T frame I've been showing you guys already. So a couple things I wanted to show you on it was where we're going to take some pieces off. Now, I started grinding on this, but I decided to go ahead and just keep it that way. And I'm going to go ahead and make a cut up here, and then I'll do a drop down for it to go that way. And then up here in the front, this is the old cross spring bracket. So of course the cross springs would go underneath here, and that would have that sucker way up in the air. So what we're going to do is get rid of this, and we're going to do a piece of tubing across here in its place. And then on top of that tubing, we're going to have a bracket that comes out to hold the cross springs up here. So that's going to drop it quite a ways. I'm thinking 6 inches or so, maybe even 8. So that's going to be nice. And then in the back, we're going to come through. "21 inches here from back to the front," and then we're going to make a cut. Then we're going to use some square tubing I have right there. We're going to drop that down 12 inches, just a foot, and then we're going to use the rest of the original frame, 66 inches worth of it, and then make a cut. And then we're going to put 48 inches worth of tubing in the front of it. What that's going to do is this will drop the rear really low for the coupe, and it fits inside the trunk just right. And this is going to give us the full body we need. It's going to go past a little ways on the coupe firewall. The 48 inches gives us plenty of room to do the cross spring front end, a tall radiator, and the flathead V8. Because remember, this chassis originally had a little hand crank 4-banger, so we're going to stretch it, make some extra room, make it look really cool. Okay, so we're going to go 21 inches from the rear of the frame. Make a mark. Okay, so I have mark right here at 66, where this says 66. I have the mark there, 21 inches from the rear of the frame. The 66 represents how long of the frame I'm going to use now that the body is going to sit on. So if you see, we'll be cutting it right here, and I won't even need to mess with that thing, cutting it off and all that, because that's a pain. So I'll just cut it right here, and that's where we'll come up and go out, and then we'll do a piece across the front for our motor. But we're going to start here, cut this sucker, and maybe do some welding. Okay, so got our mark all squared off here. We're going to take the old saws nothing and we're going to chop it right here. Do the same thing over there, and then we're going to cut some tubing to do the uplift. Start with this. Nice. I can tell you one thing, I'm gonna have to get some good lights out here. Man, this is ridiculous. What you're looking at, we're gonna go up 12 inches on this frame and then come back. So I'll be welding here, go across, and this is where the trunk of the coupe is. And this will come down right directly in the very back of the cab where the seat was. So me being as big as I am, I'm gonna be sitting all the way in the back. So I wanted this stretched all the way back, and we're going to go right up here, and I'll end up putting a rear firewall in there of some sort, but that's going to be a long way down the road. Right now, I'm just going to get these connected and welded up. Try to get both of these 12-inch riser pieces I just built tacked in, and then we'll put this rear piece on for the suspension and go from there, see how we look tonight. Use this for our square, get us right perfect 90-degree angle. Well, okay, let's try that. Okay, so we're gonna see how level we can get this sucker with my submarine level. We've got our runner level this way. So now I've got the whole frame level crossway. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to square up this so we can do some welding. Okay guys, so here it is with the rear modified. Well, we kept the front, remember? So the rear is now modified, tack welded in. I like what I'm seeing, so I think I'm going to double check a few more measurements on it and stuff. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is finish weld it up and call it good for the night. Now, you see that the frames were C-channel, but what I'm going to do here is do another piece of tubing across that'll really reinforce it. One more thing on the frame, guys. Once you look straight down it right here, going back to the brace we just built, it is crooked. That being because this thing was used, had wood across it, and it was pulled from here, so it's all bent up. So as I build, I'm going to have to put braces in there and kind of pry it out. But this frame was given to me to build with, and I'm going to make everything I can out of it. So it's going to take a lot more extra work to get it not only bent out both these ways like it should be, but also twisted. But we'll get it all as we go. Totally out of wire. Well, I ran completely out of wire and I have no extra, so that's going to be pretty much it for this episode. So I hope you like this one. I hope it's a little better than all the other ones I've had out so far. Just trying to get a little better at it, trying to have some fun, and really wanted to get back into building some really crazy stuff like this here. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to have a lot more to come because, like I showed you, I've got a body and motor and everything, so it's going to be a big build. If you like what you see, go ahead and like the videos. Subscribe for me. I'd appreciate it, man. I'd like to get plenty of subscribers to kind of keep this thing going, see if I can build it. I'm gonna keep some of this coming, got a lot to do on the frame. So here it is, one last time. So when I get some more wire for the welder, we're gonna get after it. Thanks a lot.